breakdown. During hurricane season, we talk a lot about models, but where does that information come from? A quick Models 101. Weather forecast models are spit out by supercomputers operated by different weather agencies. They run thousands of equations on different layers of the atmosphere, taking factors and data from space and on the ground into consideration. The different formulas sometimes result in different forecasts. So we have some questions for WWL Louisiana Chief Meteorologist Chris Franklin. Hey, Chris.
Devin, what's up?
Hey, so why do meteorologists rely on these models instead of creating their own forecasts?
Well, in a sense, we do. We use the models, and really the proper way to use them is as guidance. They kind of guide our forecast, but we're not just using one or even just two models. We use several models to put a forecast together, and that track that you see in the cone of uncertainty from the Hurricane Center, that is not just based on one model. That's several models, as well as the forecast experience and expertise of the meteorologists at the Hurricane Center.
That makes sense. So we do hear a lot about the GFS, which is run by NOAA, and the Euro, which is run by a governmental agency in Europe. So why are those the two that we hear about the most?
There are other models, but those are the two best performing global models. Global meaning it looks at huge areas of the globe. They're great at kind of sniffing out potential development as well as the possible track. As far as getting the details right of a storm, including the strength, we use what are called nested models. These are models that only look directly at either an invest or a named storm.
This is the path of Hurricane Beryl here, but
Correct.
how do you choose which of these models to trust? How do you know where it's going to go?
Well, and a lot of times what we have seen in the past, the Euro does perform a bit better than the GFS. We've seen the GFS kind of make dramatic changes. As a matter of fact, with Beryl, the early forecast had it moving due west. Then it was toward the Bahamas. Then it was back into the Gulf, then back west. We kind of saw consistency with the Euro. So what we usually do with trying to choose a model is, one, we look at consistency, whether or not the model just keeps jumping back and forth, but also we look at how it's been performing in the short term. Does it have kind of the last few days accurate, or was it kind of messing up those early stage forecasts? Just because the Euro seems to do a better job does not mean it's always going to be perfect throughout this hurricane season.
All right, that makes sense. Thanks, Chris.
Sure.
So there you have it. When we see forecasts for a storm, getting the context and some other sources is pretty important. Good to know, as we're already seeing some action this hurricane season.